Life Begins at 40. This is season 5, and our guest today is Rashim Sharma. Hi, Rashim.
Hi, Sam. How are you?
Very good. So, Rashim and I are meeting after what, 2 years today?
That's right.
Yeah. And what makes Rashim tall for me is her unequivocal passion, her grit, her wisdom, her focus, confidence, her belief in self, and passion about what she believes in life. For her is an ongoing journey of growth and learning. She's one of the kindest souls I have met, and I have very many examples, but that would take too long, so we shall start with Rashim and her story today. Right?
Thank you, and thank you for those lovely words. First of all, I think for the record, takes a kind soul to actually, recognize or say those things about other people as well.
Really.
So,
The last 2 years, how many times I've reached out, and then I've got feedback from people telling me that,
well, you just try, right? That's what you do. I mean, I think it's a question of what goes around comes around.
so why did you leave TV today?
I don't know. I think I wanted to try something different in life. I suddenly decided I wanted to take a different journey. I used to be a sports journalist, so I decided to take the sports part of it and carry forward in my journey. I left the journalist part behind professionally, but I think I've always been a journalist at heart. So I carry that learning with me in everything I do. And so yeah, that's the reason.
What is the role you play in India on Track? And what is India on Track?
India on Track. India on Track is, it's no longer a baby. It's a decade old now, but it's a company that I started with 2 other friends. So I'm a co-founder in the company, and I head the marketing division. It's a sports company. We work in grassroots training for children, and we also work in brand solutioning for rights holders or sponsors and different kinds of brands through the lens of sports. So that's the short explanation.
To a long journey.
To a long journey, yes.
Okay, so your priorities. Yeah. How do you juggle entrepreneurship, son, husband, in-laws, parents?
Very easy actually, because everybody else, all the living beings in this list, actually add to my support system. So I don't think I manage them at all. I think they manage me. Work takes a lot of your time. But I think I have a very, very supportive, leadership team with me, my friends and my business partners. We sort of lean on each other. We work together, a fabulous team as well. So it's not, I will admit it's not all hunky-dory. Not every day is the same, but yeah, you get by because the people you mentioned in that list, my husband, my parents, my in-laws, my little son, I think they pretty much prop me up quite often, especially the adults in that list. Ayan's too young to just say, okay mom, go ahead and do whatever, I'll take care of myself. But he's also been actually a fabulous, very, very easygoing child. I think probably the journey that was planned, because I remember a lot of young moms and new moms who are a little worried that, it's difficult to balance. But he's been a very, very, very genial child. He's not been troublesome at all. I've not had very, massive issues around managing him or managing time. So yeah, he's been very generous with that.
Wonderful. So I think it is the energy that you give up that comes back manifold to you.
I don't know. I think I would like to believe it's the other way around. I think, but you're right. Like you just have to take it in the right spirit. It's just a question of perspective. That's like my favorite word in the last 2 years. Gratitude and perspective. So it's just about perspective. The way you view something is the way I think it unfolds itself.
How beautifully put. You have a special bond with your husband.
Yeah.
Not one that I have seen many couples share. So give me 3 words that elucidate your relationship with Vivek.
Unconditional love. the deepest friendship, and the greatest support.
And also your partner, both in life and work.
Yes, completely. I mean, and I think if I have to, if somebody ever asks me, who's the biggest feminist I know, it's him. I mean, and I love that quality about him as an individual. He will never ever turn around and say, I can't do this because I'm a man, or you shouldn't do that because you're a woman. In fact, on the contrary.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the number of times he's been the one to say, just go, I'll manage. Even when both of us were like first time parents, had no idea what to do with a newborn. And this is my favorite story. I don't think I changed Ayan's diaper for the first 19 days of his life, because Vivek was pretty much very clear that I'm going to do all that. Since you carried him and birthed him, you recover and I'm now going to take care of my son. And he would wake up for midnight feeds and he would change him. So the first time I actually changed a diaper was when Vivek was out of India for work. And and I had to really learn very quickly. So he taught me just before he left, So that's just the kind of person he is. So yeah.
How lovely. And
very lucky.
Yeah. Both of you.
Yes, I would agree. Both of us.
How did you both meet?
So we've actually been sort of friends through school. I think we met when we were probably 12 or 13. Same school. We grew up together. We were very good friends as well. Then life happens. You go on to study. He went to the US to study. Interestingly, my best friend had the biggest crush on him. So for the longest time, I kept trying to get them to hook up. This was in school, of course. That never happened. So when he came back from the US, I don't know, suddenly out of the blue, I think we just connected and we decided to go on a date. We took permission from my best friend, just in case, And and we had her blessings. And then I think our first date. I think in conversation, we were just driving around and he was like, eventually when we are married, and he's like, you will get married to me. And I was like, yeah. And I think we would just look at each other and said, oh gosh. And I'm telling you, now when I think back, when you're 24, you're really silly.
You are not? Oh my God, you knew your mind then.
I mean, I don't know whether we knew our mind, but yeah, we stuck through. So we ended up here.
Yes. Yeah. Beautiful. So tell me, what are your values and how do you live them each day?
Yeah, very simple stuff. I learned this from my nana, my grandfather. I've seen, and I think more from the way I observed him living his life. Absolute honesty, sincerity in everything you do. Do it with the right intention. You will not always get it right, but as long as your intention is right, that's all you can do, frankly. And just do it with a lot of integrity, and just put the right stuff out there into the universe. Don't do something you don't want somebody else to do to you. Completely. There is no reason. There is no reason for you to add any more negativity in the world. There is no reason for you to add any more distrust in the world or any more hate out there. There is no reason. So don't do it. I'm not saying you have to love everybody, but you don't have to have strong opinions about everybody or everything. You have to let people be as well, because that's what you want back. So I'm a very strong believer that one, you want to see change, you've got to be the change. You've got to be an active participant in it, and two, do to others what you want done to yourself. Very clear. So I think I just live by these two rules.
What are the challenges it poses in your work, please? Because we both understand the country we live in and the challenges one faces. Yeah. So to live with that.
I think the challenge is sort of twofold. One, because of the fact that you're running your own thing, and the fact that you're a woman. So it's been interesting, but it's something that I haven't changed because when I've spoken my mind, when I've been honest, and obviously by honesty I don't mean you just go out there and be harsh, because that's not what honesty is. you can also be tactful about it.
Hmm.
When I was younger, like many women in work life and otherwise, you just get labeled. She's, people are scared of her. She's very headstrong. I take that as compliments. Give me that badge, I'll wear it. I'm proudly going to wear it, and I'm going to, forge ahead. So I've just done that, and it has actually worked very well, Sanj, because I've had, I think that sincerity and that honesty, integrity actually shines through to clients when you're talking to them. So I've actually had incidents where clients have actually said, if you're saying it, then we believe it. Because we know you wouldn't, try and pull a fast one on us. So, yeah.
So you brought to life what my friend has taught me. We don't always have to be brutally honest. We can be kindly honest.
Oh,
too.
100%. In fact, you don't ever have to be brutally honest. There is no need to be brutally honest because, again, put yourselves in their shoes, right? Look at life from their lens. If you were standing and the roles were reversed and someone spoke to you like that, would you appreciate it?
Absolutely.
And words can really hurt. I mean, that's the one thing I learned from my journalist life. Words have a lot of power. They can hurt and you can't take them back. So, you don't have to be brutal about anything. Be kind and you can still get your message across.
Agreed. So you are one of the most articulate people I have met. हिंदी में भी इतनी ही खूबसूरती से अपने आप को एक्सप्रेस करती हो जितना अंग्रेजी में करती हो.
कोशिश करती हूँ. इनफैक्ट कोशिश ये भी करती हूँ कि कुछ ज़्यादा हिंदी बोल सकूँ क्योंकि अनफॉर्चुनेटली
डे टू डे
मतलब आप इंग्लिश इतना ज़्यादा बोलते हो पर मुझे हिंदी बहुत पसंद है, पढ़ना बहुत पसंद है, लिखना तो खैर थोड़ा बहुत कोशिश करती हूँ. फाइनली मेरा जो दिमाग जब क्रिएटिवली सोचता है ना तो वो हिंदी में सोचता है.
इसीलिए इतनी सुंदर कविता लिखती हो.
सुंदर तो पता नहीं, वो लिखती हो
बहुत खूबसूरत कविता. And that's a hidden talent I chanced upon.
Yes, it's very hidden. I don't share it much.
So why poetry as a form of expression?
यार वो है ना कि
बहुत डेप्थ है your poetry.
Thank you. वो तो खैर I think वो over 40 वाला जब स्टेज आ जाता है ना तो like I was telling you कि थोड़ी सी जिंदगी देखी होती है तो थोड़ा सा ठहराव आ जाता है.
So you say,
मतलब
sorry, I have to interrupt him because when she was 39, we met and I asked her, I said, would you come on my channel? She says, तुम रुक जाओ, 40 की हो जाऊंगी, then I'll be eligible. क्या पता था मुझे 40 की मैं लॉकडाउन में होंगी यार. मतलब पहले कर लेना चाहिए.
But anyway, हाँ जी.
Yeah,
मतलब पोएट्री इसलिए क्योंकि मुझे एक्चुअली लिखना पसंद है. तो जैसे कुछ लोगों के लिए certain things are therapeutic. मेरे लिए लिखना is जैसे आप अपने आप को एक जुबान देते हो ना.
हाँ जी.
तो it's like वो मेरा बेसिकली मेरा थेरेपिस्ट है. मेरी नोटबुक और मेरा पेन, एंड वो मैं आज भी वैसे ही लिखती हूँ. इनफैक्ट आप कहीं भी जाओगे, अभी मेरी टेबल पे भी पड़ा है, मेरे पास हमेशा नोटबुक और एक पेन होता है. और मैं हमेशा पेपर और पेन पे लिखती हूँ क्योंकि मेरा आई डोंट नो, इट्स जस्ट वो फील होती है ना, कुछ टैक्टाइल फीलिंग होती है जो पेपर और पेन के साथ आती है. उसमें ना दिमाग में आपकी थॉट्स बहुत अच्छे से फ्लो करती हैं. एंड आई एम वेरी फॉर्चुनेट क्योंकि मेरे पास ऐसे एक दो दोस्त हैं जो बहुत अमेजिंग है हिंदी में, जिनके साथ रह के आई थिंक आई रियली बीन एबल टू open those.
So is this natural कि you have to work on writing your poetry?
Anybody who writes, and I'm not even claiming to be a poet, will tell you that you have to work towards everything. So आप अगर मेरी मतलब जैसे मैंने जब लिखना शुरू किया था दोबारा, I used to write. जब मैं छोटी थी स्कूल में I used to have diaries and stuff. मैं poems लिखती थी पेरेंट्स को, जब मैं हॉस्टल में थी मिस करती थी, या कुछ कहना होता था. स्पेशली टीनेज ईयर्स में तो कहना बड़ा मुश्किल होता है ना, तो राइटिंग वाज अ वे टू कम्युनिकेट विद देम. बट अगर आप देखो जो मैंने 2-3 साल पहले लिखा था वर्सेस जो मैं अब लिख रही हूँ, आप उसमें एक ग्रोथ जर्नी देख सकते हो, और वो जर्नी सिर्फ लाइफ एक्सपीरियंस की वजह से नहीं होती, इट्स ऑल्सो बिकॉज आप लिखना बेटर शुरू कर देते हो। इट्स लाइक एवरी अदर स्किल, आप एक्सरसाइज करोगे तो आप 3 महीने में बेटर एक्सरसाइज करोगे, आप अगर रोज लिखोगे तो आप 3 महीने बाद बेटर लिखोगे, ये फैक्ट है। और ये एक्चुअली यस, एंड एक्चुअली आई रिमेम्बर मैंने गुलजार साहब को एक बार ये कहते हुए सुना था कि उन्होंने बोला ये राइटर्स ब्लॉक वगैरह कुछ नहीं होता है, और जब लोग मुझे कहते हैं ना कि मैं लिख नहीं सकता क्योंकि मेरा क्रिएटिविटी ब्लॉक हो गया है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है, रोज लिखो, चाहे कुछ आए भी दिमाग में ठीक या नहीं, लिखो, जब लिखोगे रोज तो उसी से आपका स्किल इम्प्रूव होता है, एंड आई कम्प्लीटली एग्री विद इट, बिकॉज ऐसे फेजेस आते हैं वेयर आई एम राइटिंग रेगुलरली एंड दिमाग में थॉट आती है एंड बस उसी थॉट से एक चीज ट्रिगर हो जाती है, दैट्स बेसिकली इट।
So I have one request. I think at some point you should seriously consider getting your poems printed in a book.
But who's willing to spend money and waste it on me? Please contact me.
ब्लॉग से तो शुरुआत करें हम, है ना? अच्छा, so you're also a prolific reader.
Yes.
क्या किताबें पढ़ी हैं अभी लॉकडाउन में से अभी तक?
सामने एक्चुअली पूरा लिस्ट, अगेन a combination of stuff. I love reading about people's life. So I love autobiographies. बचपन से बहुत पसंद है। I remember पहली वाली शायद मैंने पढ़ी थी Diary of Anne Frank. Of course, extremely heart-wrenching, but tragic, yes. But it really triggered something in me because I love people. And I love knowing about their life and their journey. So, in fact, the most recent one is right there, which is Indra Nui's, which is My Life in Full. And my God, it's amazing. I mean, I love how she has detailed out her journey. So, you really identify as a woman, as an Indian, and frankly, as a human being. Wanting to try different things, learning, making mistakes, hopefully learning from some of the stuff she's telling you. I love reading poetry. मेरे पास मेरी बुक शेल्फ में एक बुक पड़ी है जो फैज अहमद की है, जो मेरी नानी नाना की कॉपी है।
क्या कह रही हो?
हाँ जी, तो वो दोनों बहुत बहुत अमेजिंग पोएट्री पढ़ते थे, लिखते थे। मेरे नाना उर्दू में लिखते थे, मेरी नानी हिंदी में पढ़ती थी, और मतलब आई हैव अ लॉट ऑफ देयर बुक्स एक्चुअली विद मी। तो वो मेरी बहुत प्राइज पोजीशन, बहुत मुश्किल है पढ़ना वैसे, बिकॉज उनकी जो लिखावट है वो बहुत ही कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है।
Absolutely.
तो उस किताब के साथ मेरे पास एक उर्दू टू हिंदी टू इंग्लिश ट्रांसलेटिंग डिक्शनरी भी है, बिकॉज आई कैन रीड इट विदाउट दैट।
Yeah.
बट आई लव Manto. I love, I mean, again, there's like, somebody gave me this very nice book, Mirza Ghalib, so I want to read that, their life story. Yeah, different books, stuff like that. But basically, people and experiences and emotions, that really makes me happy.
एक चीज मैंने ऑब्जर्व की है तुम्हारे घर में कि हर जगह व्हाइट बोर्ड्स और ब्लैक बोर्ड्स है।
हाँ जी।
क्यों? और हर पे कुछ कुछ लिखा है, just give such a homely, inviting, open feel.
Yeah,
you
so
know?
I think for me and विवेक बोध, जब हमने घर बनाया था तो हमें मुझे याद है, हम हमेशा सब बोलते थे, स्पेशली बिकॉज ऑफ मी, क्योंकि मुझे क्लीनलीनेस का बड़ा वो है, तो सब वो मजाक में आपको ओसीडी है ना,
वो है,
हाँ है, which is a good thing because I like order, but I enjoy creative chaos, you know, but that doesn't mean you have to enjoy clutter. So the reason you see all these canvases जो किचन में भी है, यहाँ भी है, पेपर्स दिखेंगे आपको, ये सब दिखेगा, is because जैसे मैंने I love teaching myself, I love learning new things. तो मैंने जब मैं यूके में थी, अब तो आई थिंक कितने साल हो गए, 12-13 साल पहले, I was in between jobs and I taught myself to sketch. तो मेरे पेरेंट्स बहुत अच्छे पेंटर्स हैं, and I used to always think very, you know, I was very unsure, and I was like, maybe I'll never be as good as them. And like my dad went to JJ Arts, you know, like so. Wow. And my mom used to paint beautiful like oil paintings and stuff. तो ऐसी बोर हो रही थी तो मैंने अपने आप को एक दिन स्केचिंग सिखा दी, कुछ इंटरनेट पे बैठ के ना। हाँ मतलब कॉपी करना था तो कॉपी मैं अच्छे से कर सकती थी। फिर एक दिन ऐसे ही करते करते आई जस्ट डिसाइडेड to try my hands in different things, and I still do that. So, which is why you'll find, sometimes I'll go and doodle on the, chalkboard, on the cupboard face or something. And the house has to look lived in, yeah. It should be. It's your home. Ultimately, it is not a showpiece. हम actually इस घर के हर कोने में जीते हैं. और जब से आयान आया तो डेफिनेटली जीते हैं. तो you can tell the telltale signs everywhere.
पता लगता है कि हर जगह सांस ली हुई है.
For sure. मतलब I think we feel, and both Vivek and I really enjoy coming back here. The space is us. It anchors us. It's almost like a warm hug for us. So we love coming back home. So, yeah.
And उसके अलग तरफ है you and your workouts.
Oh yeah.
And वो workouts का फतूर.
Again two things. No, that's I love sports. And I love learning new things. And I love challenging my sort of limits. Because I don't feel like there is a limit to an individual. And you can have physical limitations, of course. I mean, I don't think I can do what I used to do at 20 now. But I don't have mental limitations, and I love it, yeah. I mean, I met you at Kal, and you know that. And it's just, I think I started going there thinking, chalo, after I had Ayan, I need to rebuild my strength. Because before that, I always used to work out, but I wouldn't do it in such a structured way. I used to run a lot. I used to play a lot of sport. But obviously, as you can appreciate, once you have a kid and they're so young, कहाँ बाहर 1 घंटा 2 घंटा निकाल के स्पोर्ट्स खेलने जाओगे तो बहुत स्ट्रक्चर्ड तरीके से सुबह 4:45 बजे उठ के 6 बजे वर्कआउट करो ताकि 7 बजे तक before the child wakes up you're home. And I really started enjoying learning stuff, and we were very fortunate because we had some really good trainers.
Absolutely.
Great friends.
Gosh, it's given us a lot. I can't reiterate that enough.
True. Completely. I met some amazing people. Yeah. I don't think we would have met otherwise.
Agreed. And then to consider that we are but 3 kilometers away from each other and would never have met.
That's what happens, right? When your paths have to cross, life will find a way.
Yes.
And I think our workouts were that way, and it's fun.
Absolutely.
It was good to challenge yourself.
Ajay, to apni zindagi mein, would you like to change anything?
No, not at all. Every experience has made me. The good ones, the difficult ones, the ones that have, been painful, losing people, losing your loved ones. I mean, I think the most painful one was when we lost our dog. Very tragic circumstances, and he was like the baby, and the first baby of the family. But I mean, yeah, of course, you would not want all of them to leave. But that's life, right? You can't change it. You have to take it in.
Agreed.
It's the only way to live.
Agreed. So this brings me to the point that you had said, and which I really wanted to ask, that you're an extrovert. And yet you balance going within and seeking yourself equally well, right? How do you define when you need the time to reflect and be with yourself? When people energize you and you energize people.
Yeah. So
By virtue of
I just follow a simple rule. What feels good. If I feel good meeting people, I will just do it. And I'm very vocal if I want to be left alone. It's quite obvious. So I am also someone who will wear her emotions on her sleeve a lot. Which is what I mean about what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
I don't fake it. I can reserve my opinion. Itna to obviously you learn over time, but I will not fake it. So if I'm happy to see me, which is what happened because we've been chatting for like 2 hours and we'll be recording for 15 minutes. If I'm happy to see you, it's quite obvious.
Yeah.
If I'm being polite, it's quite obvious to you. So Yeah, and when I need to just go in, and I do, there are moments when I just don't want to talk to the world. I just want to be with myself. I want silence. I just seek it. And again, the great thing is with Vivek, he just gets it. And even if he doesn't, I'll just say, listen, I want to be left alone. And he'll be like, okay, that's fine. You know, so that's how it is.
No false emotions and no egos.
Sorry?
No false emotions and no ego.
Not at all. No point, na? Very wasteful. Takes away too much energy.
Yeah.
You spend too much time trying to
Drama.
keep up the pretense.
Yeah.
And then you forget kahan pe kisko kya, it's just too complicated.
Just drop the drama and do what you want. Be true to yourself, only then can we be true to others.
Completely.
I love this. So how do you handle what has been the most stressful time of your life and how did you handle it?
Yeah, any time when my family is unwell.
Okay.
So, I mean, in my life, I've had two such major incidents. One was in 2006 end when my father was hospitalized and we almost lost him. And I mean, he was in hospital for like almost 2 months, ventilator, came out of it he fought very hard. And the most amazing thing was the family really rallied. Not just, you know, my mom and my brother and Vivek, but his parents, my aunts and uncles from both sides. It was like my parents' friends.
Wow.
It was very clear. I think we were all together, and I still remember the one emotion that I remember from that entire experience was that not even once did I feel like my dad's not going to come back. Like I was telling you that I just had this absolute immovable belief that he was going to come back. I just felt it in my heart. And I've also been someone who has learned over the years to just trust my gut and my inner voice. It has not led me astray many times, not always in the most happy circumstance or end result, but you know, it doesn't come with a guarantee. The second time, and so thankfully he was back and he's, you know, okay and he's healthy and he's with us. The second time was in fact just last year. I had a scare with my mom and we had to rush her to the hospital. That was very freaky because COVID times.
Yes.
So I have a young child at home. I have an elderly father at home who's a high risk patient. So Vivek had to stay here and hold fort. And I was in the hospital alone with mom, and we basically told everybody not to come. So I was with her for 10 days in the hospital alone, and she had to undergo surgery. And there was a lot of up and down in between, unfortunately. Her health, you know, she had some reaction and all of that. But again, thankfully, you know, somebody was watching out for her, because she came out okay. It turned out to be, you know, like a sort of a little bit of a mountain out of a molehill, and I'm glad that it was a molehill again. No complaints, absolutely. I'm okay. I would take it again because, and again through all of this, right? Vivek just held fort here. I didn't have to worry about Ayan because otherwise, you know this, as a parent, you're constantly thinking about home and especially your kid. And I just switched off from everything here. Vivek managed my dad and Ayan, and my brother was my rock. Like, he couldn't fly. We didn't want him to risk himself and fly down. He lives in Switzerland, so I mean, he was with me throughout on the phone, just randomly keeping me company. I remember we would just sit up, and if I had to stay up watching mom and monitor her, he would just stay on the phone. So I don't think if I didn't sleep for like 8-10 days, he didn't sleep for 8-10 days. So yeah. We were family. We stick together. A little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's the 4G upbringing, you know.
It is fun.
We are lots, and I was super thrilled when Neeraj Chopra won the gold.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was screaming from the rooftops. I love seeing the country get some achievement in sports.
The beaten retreat वाले दिन भी इतनी overcome होती है.
Yeah, so Vivek was laughing because I had tears rolling down my eyes when I was watching the drone display, because I was explaining the technicality of that, because, you know, we do a little bit of that in our work, not even close in terms of the execution, but I had tears rolling down. I was like, look at these young kids, they're doing something so amazing, and Vivek was like, oh my God, like, get it. But yeah, I mean, I mean, again, you know, I don't have like one single memory which is amazingly joyous. Like, I love my wedding day. I had a blast. I had an amazing time, you know, and I would do it over and over again. I loved when, you know, Ayan started to walk. You know. I love it when my mother surprises me. I go home and she's got my favorite suji ki kheer ready. So, little things make me happy. I mean, I don't look for that one big moment, because then you wait your entire life for that one big moment. You know, so you miss the little ones, and the little ones really enrich you. I mean, they're the best things. You know, feeling happy. I love seeing a plant grow. Like when I see that seed sprout, when we talk about dhania, oh gosh, the sight of that crop growing, a flower blooming, I love that stuff. Dogs.
What's a regular day in your life look like?
Okay, so I'm an early riser. So I would normally, if I was going for my workout, like early morning workouts, I would wake up at about 4:45. You know, get ready for workout. I like to have that 1 hour, wake up, you know, and stuff. Finish my workout by 7, be home. Then you just start getting ready with for work. Get yourselves ready. Get Ayan ready. Obviously, the domestic helps are here, so you know, make sure food is figured out. Everybody's doing their own thing. Very fortunate because I have good domestic help, so they manage doing their work. They don't need supervision. Then get ready. Pre-pandemic, I would leave for work. So I would leave for work at about 8:30, 8:35, drop Ayan to my parents' place, then head to office, be back by about 4:35, pick him up from my parents' place. He's an early sleeper because he also rises early, so he would then come back, you know, bathe him again. He would go to sleep, khana wana karke, go to sleep. Then I have me time. Then I would just say that either sometimes watch something on the laptop or write or read, you know, and this is usually the space sort of I hang on in around at night because he's sleeping in the other room. Then back in the room by about 9ish, in bed by 10, out like a light. So that's my normal day.
And describe yourself in 5 words.
You should describe me in 5 words. One word, I'm awful at describing myself.
So I would say I'm going to go beyond 5 words, because I would say she's a bundle of energy.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. She's upfront.
Yes.
She's one of the kindest souls I have met. She is determined. If she sets her mind to it, she will do it and not give up. Even if she's like, until she's dropping, like literally dropping.
That
right?
is true.
Right? And totally unpretentious. She's what she is.
Yeah.
Right?
You get what you see.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, you did such a good job.
And charming. Lastly, what is the secret to Rashim's happiness? Or happiness in life that you would like to leave with our viewers?
Yeah, I actually attribute a lot of that to just being blessed. I do feel somebody is looking out beyond the obvious realm. And my friends and family, by far, the biggest reason that I am who I am, without a doubt. And equal weightage to friends and family. Because I think I've been very, very fortunate in the people that have crossed paths with me. Even the ones who are no longer actively there in my life. Everybody's been very, very kind. They're just wonderful people, and I've learned.
We will end this with one of your poetry poems.
इसका background ये था कि second wave में, obviously जब things were quite bad, there was devastation everywhere, and I think like millions of Indians, I was quite affected. तो एक दिन मैं बाहर बैठी थी बालकनी में आयान के साथ, और बच्चे बड़े इंटरेस्टिंग तरीके से पर्सपेक्टिव देते हैं आपको लाइफ में, क्योंकि वो बाहर बैठा बारिश हो रही थी बहुत तेज, और वो एंजॉय कर रहा था, एंड मैं अपनी थॉट्स में थी, मेरे लिए वो बारिश उस टाइम, it felt like my, I was weeping. I felt like my heart needed to weep. And for him, it was like nature is cleansing. He was loving, And again, perspective, right? Two different perspectives. So I did this, and I titled this poem "Saans." Says, ये बरसात है कि दिल मेरा रो रहा है, उन टूटी सांसों का बोझ हो रहा है, कुछ जाने पहचाने बहुत से अजनबी, हर किसी में खुद को देखा है कभी, पूछती हूँ मैं ये आसमां से, क्यों इन मासूमों के साथ ये हो रहा है, कोई एक सांस के लिए तो कोई हर एक सांस के लिए, तरसे है सभी जिंदगी के एहसास के लिए, क्या कसूर था उनका जो ये हाल हो रहा है, माँ बाप बच्चे से और बच्चा बचपन से क्यों ही भरना, ये सैलाब कहाँ जाकर थमेगा, तूफान में फंसा इंसान कहाँ जाकर रुकेगा, जब सूखेंगे तेरे आंसू दिल मेरा तब ही रो रहा होगा, क्या इस भवंडर में मेरा भी हाथ था, ये सोच तेरी टूटी सांसों का बोझ तब भी हो रहा होगा.
That's a true. And on that note, it's a wrap.
Yes, thank you.